Goes according to plan, there will be a new owner of the Commanders by this time next week. But will NFL owners actually get to vote on their sale at their next meeting? Sports director Darren Haynes worked his sources to get the latest information.
All right, so I reached out to a bunch of my sources and I have new information about all these issues surrounding the sale of the Washington Commanders. Yesterday, a report from our partners at the Washington Post say issues in legal negotiation between Dan Snyder's representatives and the NFL, quote, threatened to complicate approval of the $6.05 billion Washington Commanders sale. Now, before you get all scared, a source with knowledge of the situation tells me this will not hold up next week's vote, and things are moving forward with the transition to the new group as planned. Now, the Post states the complications are related to the leaking of emails from the Wilkinson report. Now, that's the NFL's first investigation into the Washington Commanders' toxic workplace culture and owner Dan Snyder. Now, those emails led to Jon Gruden resigning as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. The article also goes on to say Snyder's legal team is arguing that Snyder shouldn't be responsible for any legal liability from those actions. And while Snyder is not trying to get the league or other owners to guarantee he won't be liable down the road, the complications relate to the willingness of Snyder and his family to indemnify the league and other owners against liability related to the Gruden case. Now, a source familiar with the communication between the Commanders and NFL says that's not true, and Snyder has already testified before the Oversight Committee and said he had nothing to do with the Gruden emails. But he's not the only person holding things up, people. The Post reports Dan's sister, Michelle, who's a part owner, is not willing to agree to a guarantee that other team owners won't face legal liability over those leaked emails. Now, a team source says that's false too. Now, I reached out to the NFL about this, no comment, but the vote will take place in Minneapolis next week, and 24 of the 31 owners will need to vote in favor to make the Washington Commanders sale official. But like I said earlier, my source says these last-minute issues won't stop this vote from happening. I'm Darren Haynes. Get up, D.C.